Hello, everyone. Dr. Victoria Skirbo here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. So I was sitting here looking at the Astrology of November, and I'm going to be putting out a numerology and Kabbalah and an astrology for the month of November within the next 2 days. So a little late, but still not November yet. So. But I've been getting some things that have been coming into my consciousness, and some of it is just like watching a video. It's not just you know psychic impressions or anything like that, but sort of the things that there are themes in my life. Like I follow a theme of, oh, I feel like watching that or doing this or exploring that, right? So I tend to just sort of see what I feel like doing, actually. So um and I just had some videos come to my attention that had me sort of like, oh my goodness, let me take a look at November, because I hadn't quite gotten to it yet. And so, excuse me, sorry, I came out of the frame. Uh, this isn't the greatest camera, so I'm sorry about this. There we go. That she usually fixes it. No, see, because they made me a liar. It can't seem to focus. I'm sorry. Because you're gonna have to see me blurry. Okay. So I'm looking at the astrology and I'm thinking to myself, goodness gracious. Let me do a card reading. Between the astrology and the things I'm hearing, I thought this might be a good time to do it. So I have my calendar here, and I do have some charts that we can look at. So this is really bothering me. I'm sorry, guys. Anybody wants to see what my palm looks like? That's what my palm looks like. Yes, it works. The magic of the palm. So let's take a look. So when I was in Washington State, I know some of you followed me around as I showed you where I was. That was fun. That was fun. I picked up a new deck, a tarot deck, the Crow Tarot, which I've seen Marianne use. And the interesting thing is the woman who designed this deck is an artist in Seattle, but she's originally from South Boston. Sounds like she's from maybe Plymouth or Duxbury or something. I don't know. I don't know where she's from, but so there was that connection, and the fact that I was in the Seattle area, but I didn't realize that this deck had that connection. I was just like, oh, the Crow Tarot. I've seen Marianne use that. I want to get it. And of course, while I was there were crows everywhere. Crows will come in and out of my life. There are times in my life when they're very evident for me. And because I don't see a lot of crows, generally, I pay attention to them. I pay attention to their warnings. I count crows. There's an energy to them. I think there was an incident where there was a crow on top of my house. It only ever happened once, and he cawed and he cawed and he cawed at me, and I knew something was up. I knew. Now I can't quite remember what happened, but I do remember after that being a difficult period for whatever reason. So they do warn us. They warn me. So November, in numerology, November is 11, right? So the number 11 is a master number. It is spiritual light teacher. Spiritual light teacher. And so when we're in an 11 vibration, we become illuminated to something, right? Light is, where we talk about being lighter, as we get lighter, more things get exposed. And um, it's almost like if you're like, say you want to clean a bathtub, for example, and the light is very dim in the bathtub, right? In the bathroom itself. And you want to make sure that it gets nice and clean because, I don't know, you have people coming over. So what you might do is you might bring the light in. So what would normally be regular light, cleaning the bathroom, cleaning the tub, it looks clean. And then you bring another light in, a brighter light, and what you see is that things aren't as clean as you think they are, right? And you can see the dirt easier. And so what's happening as our consciousness is raising is we're seeing the dirt. And the dirt in a lot of cases are in powerful positions. And that is a problem that needs a solution. so so let's look at November first with the tarot cards. What I usually do is I don't go week by week, which a lot of the readers do, and I actually like it that way. I like to learn week to week. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this deck and do a general like I usually do. Sorry. But I might then go with another deck. Or I will go with another deck and go week to week, unless something comes through the first reading that I'll stand on. Okay, so the first card so it looks like November, we're going to meet the devil. We're going to meet the devil. I think we're going to see a level of darkness, and people are going to show their darkness. And it's going to be people that are already sort of spiraling like into the darkness anyway. It's not like, you're a good person, all of a sudden we're going to see your darkness, this a lot of people have been seeing their darkness and have been working on the darkness. A lot of people, there's been a lot of healing that's going on. It's just like these like last like bits off the bottom of the pan, or these last bits off the bottom of the bathtub, or the swamp, maybe, I guess we could say. Those entrenched, views. It's interesting. I was one of the stories I heard was about a documentary that Tucker Carlson 3-part that was going to start to stream same difference, stream on Fox. And I was watching the Mehdi Hassan. I like him. He's really cool. I think it's NBC or MSNBC, but I think it's their sort of like internet like version, but it's quite progressive. He's quite progressive. I like him. And he was talking about this thing that Carlson's going to put out. And they're calling January 6th a false flag incident. They're blaming it on the FBI and the whole switcheroo thing that they love to do. Oh yeah, no, it's your fault. You're like, what? Oh God. So what was the point of that song? Oh, Tucker Carlson. So I looked at his chart. He has the moon at the last degree of Taurus. The moon is your feeling, right? Your feeling. The last degree of Taurus is very fixed. And Uranus is in Taurus now. So that energy is getting shaken. And in a way, he's a representation of old ways that around money that want to hold on. It's the greed. And that is the devil. The devil is greed. The devil is being tied down to the physical world at the expense of your soul. And so we will see that in people. But I think we'll especially see it in people who are influencers. So don't be influenced, perhaps, or don't put any more energy. Like when most people are within the paradigm that is collapsing right now. And then there are those people who for their whole lives have never really felt like they fit in, sort of the black sheeps and the or maybe the artists or these liberal whatever, like these thinkers who want to think for themselves. And then you have another much smaller group of the population where they are aligned with their spiritual energy, and that's the direction they're going. And everything, spirit trumps everything, so to speak. Sorry, use the T word. So if you're in the first group, right, the 70 consensus, right, 70% consensus, you're not even going to be aware that there's any other option than absolute, like, destruction, or and whether you want to see it all come down or you don't want to see it come down, the structures are going to change. They're not all going to come down, but they're going to change, and that's scary for people. People are very frightened right now, and they will fall for anything if they're frightened enough. So as I say that, be aware that most people are going to be in panic mode in November. For whatever reason, whether it's the political situation as they see it, whether it's financial, whether it's emotional, it's a relationship, what's going on in my life is falling apart. Perhaps this could be an addiction that you're dealing with. The devil is also being addicted. Anything that keeps you from your light. And yet the other side of the devil is humor. It's absurdity. It's like, come on, people. What are you doing? Does this make sense? You have everything, and then everything's dead, and everything that makes the world beautiful is gone. I mean, what? So, a lot of fear in November. And the challenge to that is hope, a star. Hope trumps fear. It's interesting that the whitest white guy, Trump, who has white supremacist tendencies, aspirations, or certainly knows that the white supremacist will do his bidding. That's really what it is. I think he just cares about himself. I don't think he cares about anything else. And he was, he's the devil, really. He's that, that like step on of the, ambition, blind ambition. I want more, 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 more money. Give me more money. The hole that's never filled. It's interesting that his Pluto is in Leo, and the North Node of the United States is in Leo. So his Pluto is on the North Node of the United States, which means that he can change the soul of the United States, right? The evolutionary path of the United States. But Biden also has it there. So we have two people in the fight here. But the challenge with the fear is to not lose hope. Not lose hope. Have your guiding star. Maybe a great reason to have an astrology reading in November, right? Figure out what the heavens are trying to tell you. At the root of the issue is the high priestess. Now, I did an hour and a half reading collaboration with Marianne the other night. I tell you, we get on the Zoom, and it's like time falls away. So sometimes it's long. That was the longest one we did. But this card, the High Priestess, came up so much that we actually wanted to know why the High Priestess was coming up. What was it trying to tell us? And here's the root here. Now, the High Priestess is in any number of things. But at the root of the situation, the High Priestess says that we must cooperate. The High Priestess is a 2. It is duality, yet duality needs to stand side by side, right? The things need to balance. The High Priestess is also the energy that is the direct connection from our crown to our heart chakra. When I use the system that I do for numerology and Kabbalah, the High Priestess goes right down the center from the crown to the heart, direct connection with your divine nature, with God, Goddess, all that is. Unity. Bringing unity into your heart. That is what we need to do. And if you look at this Roman numeral 2, it could be an 11. And November is an 11 month. Now we have the numerology of the month with the year. We're in a 5-year, right? 2021 is a 5-year. Well, 11 and 5 is 16. 16 in the tarot is the Tower card. So there's going to be an awakening, and a big one. In the past, we have the 10 of Wands, burdens. So many burdens. Only too many to carry. Too many to carry. In the sky, we have the 9 of Cups. This is the wish card in many decks, or it's called the wish card. In the sky is what Spirit is trying to tell us, right? Or the energy available. Let's just say maybe Spirit isn't trying to tell us anything. We're just being aligned with an energy. And the energy of the 9 of Cups is to, hope for what it is you truly want. Hope for is breaking down the government because don't like the government, or it is because you have so much pain and nobody's paying attention to your pain. It's like your parents are not paying attention to you. So you want to, kill the father. It's very old stuff, right? Um, or, do you want to be happy? Do you want, this is the Nine of Cups is plenty. It's like there's plenty of love to go around. Spirit is telling us there's plenty of love to go around. This is the immediate future, which is really kind of the energy of the month, because this is like a 6-week period. So I would see this kind of as, it's not the ultimate outcome, but it's the environment. This is what is ahead. And it's the Nine of Swords. And this is anxiety. It is the nines. The nines are associated in the Kabbalah, associated with the moon and the Sephiroth Isad, which means foundation. And the nines are about foundation, but it's the etheric blueprint of the manifested, of what is manifested. This in the past, the 10 of Wands, what ideas have been manifested, what beliefs have been manifested, what burdens have been manifested. And this is not about manifestation, the 9. The 9 is about the blueprints for that manifestation. So the blueprints for the manifestation of the cups is a manifestation of connection, understanding, healing. That's what's in the sky. So we could heal ourselves, we could heal others that we love, or we could heal others that we don't even know. My husband does healing on Facebook all the time. He doesn't know the people he's sending healing to. He's just like, who wants receivings? And they'll say, I do. And he'll start to send. You don't have to know who it's going to, really, if it's the right energy, if it's the higher heart energy, right? If you're connecting with the love of the universe. And that's what the 9 of Cups in the sky means, connecting with the love of the universe, connecting with the potential of the 10 of Cups, which is bringing that potential to earth, to the people who need it the most. The workers, the people on the planet. We're all workers on the planet. Even the bad actors, as they say, they're workers on the planet too. But we gotta start working together. That's just it. But that being said, this is anxiety, right? But you see the cage up there? Nobody's in it. So on some level, there can be a freeing, a breaking, in a way, a breaking open of, like, it may not actually be a physical breakdown, but it could be like a mental, like there's actually a mental. People just can't do it anymore. They can't be in this kind of situation. And what happens is it cracks open. That's the Tower, right? It cracks open. Let's see how it's seen from the outside. Another 9, the 9 of Pentacles. This is, okay, so all right, I'm going to say it. I think this is one of the, and I'm a little embarrassed that I don't know the real names for them. The infrastructure plan and the other plan they're trying to do with the reconciliation and all that stuff. Something's going to go through. Something's going to go through and start to move things a little bit in the right direction. And we may not see it because we're in this other place. Um, but I think it'll be seen by others that our values are shifting in a way. So that's interesting. Domestic situation. This is always interesting. The world. So this is karma. See the lambda under the crow there. As you sow, so shall you reap. This is an ending of sorts. Something is ending and something new is beginning. Something is going to be something is being given birth to. And it can be a darkness that needs to be expelled. It's like the last little crusty piece of the darkness, or the on the pan, or in the tub. I'm seeing it in my head. Hopefully I'm saying so you understand. But then it's given birth to. And then a new cycle begins. Hopes and fears. The Emperor. Control, dominion, somebody taking the reins of power and using it. Some are hoping, some are fearing that. And you could be on totally different sides of the fence on this issue and be in the same place. Do you know what I mean? You could both be, very right and very left. I had to make sure I used the right hands. Or a little. So some people want the stability, other people don't. But so it's a hope and a fear. So it depends on who you're talking to. You can't assume people want the same thing that you want. The Knight of Wands as the outcome card. So this is a spiritual journey. This is on the road, movement. Things are moving forward. There's this energy of movement, of beliefs. Who calls this? I think Lena calls this card the Cautious Knight. So there's nothing more cautious than the effing Democrats, let me tell you. To the point where you want to take this one and whack them in the ass and get them moving, right? But the sun is out and things are moving. And so whatever happens this month, I feel from the cards that it's going to get things moving in the right direction, because it's almost as if it's a fever dream and it has to break, and then we can move on. I'm just going to see if I can pick a major arcana within 3 cards. I have the Ace of Cups, or no, the Page of Cups. So that's news, good news. The Four of Pentacles. I keep getting this card as well lately. I almost feel like this is, you really have to figure out where you stand. What kind of money you have to work with. What resources do you have? What it's my mother and father who raised me, their parents, their fathers are from Italy, and they had jobs. My one grandfather was a carpenter. My other grandfather was a cooper. He made barrels. He was from Sicily, Gerlando. I never met him. He passed away before I came into the family. But there was such a work ethic and a gratitude to a certain extent that in America you had a chance. You had a chance. And what that created, I think, in the case of my family anyway, the family that I love and cherish and who loves and cherishes me, was that, hard work and, tightening your belt and being frugal, but not being so frugal that it depressed you, like, you would make sure that your kids, had good bread, or you try to make, um, it as pleasant as you can to, you know, to grow the family. But so there can be there may be sort of a closing down a little bit, where as the economy closes down, or as people start to hold on to things to reevaluate, and before things, because I think people have to look at what's in front of them first, before they can let it go. The Ace of Swords. Well, justice, right? The Sword of Truth. A truth will be revealed. And then we have the Six of Pentacles, which is the fair distribution of resources. I almost feel like this whole fascist thing is like fear. It's like fear. They use fear, they're fearful. I think when you're closed to another option or opinion, um, or set of facts, information, you learn more about something. I think you have to, I almost feel like what's going to happen in November is that we get to a point where we realize that what are we doing? Why are we trying to destroy ourselves? And we move in the direction of life, and we move in the direction of rebuilding. So, wow, that was wow. I'm gonna pull some. I don't think I'm gonna do the week thing. I'd see. This is what happens, or the week by week. Um, sorry, I had to go get the get the oracle cards. And I'm not sure. Yeah, maybe you know what I'll do. I don't know how long this is going. I don't want to. I kept you an hour and a half the other night, so I'll do that again. Um, but I will look at the new moon and the full moon for you guys. So, but I think that'll anyway. Let's pick. I'll do it. I'll do it. Okay. I'm using the I love this one. The Mystical Shaman Oracle. I love this. This is one of my favorites oracles that I have. I have quite a well, I don't have that many oracle decks. Actually, I shouldn't say I have a lot of oracle decks. I have a lot of tarot decks. I just love the art. The art is so beautiful. And it is a great way to get your art out there. I mean, if you're an artist, do a tarot deck. Jeez. Listen to me. Yeah, go ahead, do it. Well, Marianne is doing that, right? She's doing a tarot deck with her paintings. So I mean, you can do it. Yeah, I look forward to being able to like really get into my art. Like that mosaic table I did was really special for me to do. It really brought a lot of things in my life to a beautiful, like all these like shards of my life, creating a mosaic that kind of expressed who I am at this moment. Just the zodiac. All right, let's see what we have here. We have the ghost dance. The ghost dance. It's interesting. I don't know the meanings of a lot of these, so I will read from the book. But in a way, the ghost dance. Well, I'll tell you what's coming to me, and then I'll read the book for you. So, oops, it's the book falls on the ground. That was spirit or my ego doing that. Anyway, um, who needs it, right? Um, November, of course, is very mystical month, right? It's a month of death, really, here in the northern hemisphere. October is great, it's beautiful, the leaves are it's pretty, everything's like these beautiful colors. And then you get the killing frost and everything's dead. Like boom, leaves it down. The darkness, the days are short. It's very, very it's very visceral. Um, and so when you're in that place and you're surrounded by death, really, I mean, just like in nature stuff, right? Not to mention all the death that people have had to deal with. A lot of people have died. I had a brother-in-law who died of COVID. So it affects families. So there are a lot of ghosts, and there's a lot of sorrow, and there's a lot of pain. There's a lot of remembering, though. And, sometimes it really has to hurt before you can let it go and heal it. And so it's okay to be sad. It's okay to be afraid. It's okay to have all those feelings. What's not okay, I think, and this is my own personal view, I guess, is that you still have to be able to have the hope, right? To rise above that, to say, yeah, well, that was then. Let's hope for the future. It's interesting that Barack Obama was somebody who was all about hope, and Trump was somebody who was all about fear. And hope is the enemy of fear. So it's important to hope. The crossing card was the star, hope. Crossing the devil, fear, things that keep you from your light. So I feel like part of the thing that perhaps we need to do, there's going to be people involved in things going on in the streets and this and that, but it's not going to be everybody. And you still have dominion over yourself. So you can focus on whatever it is that you want to focus on and still remain aware of what's going on. In fact, I think it's important to know what's going on, but you can't get like completely um, engrossed in it. Get your information, and sometimes information will come from places, or you'll hear things, or you'll pick things to watch, or you'll find out about, or somebody will say, hey, check this out. There's a flow there, and you can follow the flow, and it will help you and enlighten you in whatever way you need to be enlightened. So that letting go that we speak of, especially with Scorpio, Mars is going to go into Scorpio on the 30th of October. which is today's the 29th, so tomorrow. And then we're going to have this very, very powerful new moon in Scorpio, which we can look at once after I do the cards. And then right after that, Venus goes into Capricorn, which is the sign that she will be going retrograde in later in December, I think. And will be retrograde going into the beginning of the year. Venus has a 40-day retrograde cycle. So she's retrograde for a long time. And in the meantime, the nodes of the moon move into Taurus, North Node, and South Node is Scorpio. And the ruler of the North Node in Taurus is Venus retrograde. Really having to reevaluate what is essential in our lives. What is important? What do we need? What don't we need? There's going to be a huge simplification of people's lives. I think for reasons that out of necessity for some people, but I think those people who aren't on the margins, and there'll be more people on the margins because things are going to get hard, right? Things are not going to be easy. But it's not easy waiting for something to happen either. So if you want something to happen, you have to start doing stuff to make things happen in your own life. You know, if you want to see paid family leave, say, you know, that's great. But if you're doing your thing, your positive energy with your connection to that issue is in its own way going to help you for that to happen, even if what you're doing in the moment isn't directly concentrated on that. Doing what you love and loving what you do. Ghost dance. Okay, let's see. Let's pick another one. And then I'll read from the book. So this I hope I'm not keeping you too long. All right, I'm gonna stop. Because when I say stuff like this, sometimes you get mad at me. But well, you say, no, don't worry, it's great. We love you. You know, but I don't. Okay, so I'm gonna stop now. Stop. I didn't look to see what was underneath the deck, the crow deck. Oh, here we go. The Holy Mountain. The Holy Mountain. So reaching the heights of spirituality, going to the top of the mountain to see the highest perspective, the broadest perspective. Yes.
You want to pause?
Yeah. Hi, sorry about that. My husband was making me duck, and he wanted me to taste the sauce that goes on the duck. So this reading is going to get a lot shorter. Just kidding. So the Holy Mountain, well, not really, but the Holy Mountain. Ascension, you know, if you want to ascend like a mountain, it's really hard, right? So everybody's talking about we're ascending. Yes, we are, but it's hard work. It's tough stuff, man. Ascension is hard. Makes you sweat. It makes you hurt yourself, you know, going up a mountain. I mean, it could kill you if you're not careful. You don't want you walk up a mountain, you want to make sure you know where your feet are going. You want to know what your next step is going to be. But all in service to a broader view. All in service to a broader view. And then we get completion. So it feels as though, again, this was in the domestic situation, right? This sense of something like coming a completion, right? A completion. This is really the world card in the tarot, even though that this isn't a tarot deck, but it's the same idea. The circle, the snake bites its own tail. But that is a symbol of wisdom. This snake biting its own tail is a symbol of wisdom. And so we are ascending. We are higher than we've ever been. It's really no, I don't know, like you could say that, it's some political reason why things like marijuana are being like made legal in so many places. In a way, it connects us to the earth. It connects us to the wisdom of the earth. Marijuana, ayahuasca, mushrooms, peyote, whatever, I don't know them all. They all will open your senses to the physical world and the spiritual world, connected to the spiritual world, which is our spiritual world, because we're all connected. As it is, more of that is happening, and that also wakes us up. That also, that was in the 60s when people were dropping acid. It was an awakening. And as far as I know, I've never done it myself, and I haven't really talked to many people who've done it. So I know a lot of people who have done it, but I don't know. Like I can't talk to them. I mean, I've never talked to them about it. But that awakened many people, and that's what's happening now. It's part of the awakening as well. Alcohol is different. Alcohol kind of dulls the senses, doesn't really awaken you. It makes you feel things, though. That alcohol does make you feel things. It makes you like not care what other people are, whether you're crying or laughing or whatever, or if you're angry, right? If you're really angry and you want to get in a fight, you drink, and then it's easier to get into the fight because you can feel your emotions, right? The things that sort of hold us back. And so that is a different kind of drug. That's a different kind of drug. That's a different kind of escape. But perhaps we need to look at it as if we're all ascending, those people who are choosing to escape through drugs in their way. I mean, it's not the best way, I don't think. And, but who's to say what, people's experiences are people's experiences. All right, let's see what the book says. So ghost dancer is 22. Ooh, master number. Oh, that's good. Okay, let's see. It says the ghost dance of the American Plain Indians united the spirits of the living with those of the ancestors to bring peace to the world. Well, of course, November is the time when the dead are closest to us, right? That's what Halloween is. All Hallows Eve. These when the ghosts are closest. Ghosts or spirits, our memories of a person, our connection to them. I love November. I don't think I said that, but I love November. It's one of my favorite months. It really is. There's something deep and dark and a deep connection to the earth, a deep connection to the people that you've lost. There's so many things I want to talk about, but this is just going to go on too long. So I also want to take a look at Joe Biden. I'm not going to do it on this video, and his astrology. and maybe Tucker Carlson, the people who are like coming up into my consciousness, and just sort of look at them from an astrological perspective of what's going to be happening this month and in the coming months, not too far forward, but certainly with the nodal change, because Joe Biden's, all his Scorpio planets, which he has many, will be activated by the South Node. Okay, sorry. When we hold them responsible for all that is wrong with us today, they haunt us. Honor the spirits of the ancestors and receive their lessons and gifts. This includes honoring your own past lives. The ancestors have a message of healing and powerful medicine to offer you. Create a sacred moment at your altar, light a candle to them, and let their wisdom infuse you. At this stage of your life, you are done repeating their tragic stories. Step into the abundance that is offered to you. Receive the gifts of those that have come before you, and write a new story for your life. You're getting an end and a new beginning. An end and a new beginning. I'll read the medicine too. I'll read the invitation is the more positive, and the medicine is the more challenging, or we could say negative. I wouldn't say negative, but the stuff, not negative stuff that you would rather not have to do, but it could apply to you as well. So if you are trapped in a vicious cycle of nostalgia, mourning the loss of youth or opportunities missed, it is time to make an altar for the ancestors. Collect a few photos, light some incense, offer sage, and open the windows of your house to release them to their destiny and to the wind. Be wary of being snarled in a relationship with someone from a past lifetime, as people we love or hurt have a way of reappearing in our lives. There is no learning for you there anymore. The Holy Mountain is number 25. Okay. Oops. Native people around the earth recognize mountains as places of great power, and one encounters spirit or where the gods or the goddesses reside. In ancient Greece, Mount Olympus was the home of the 12 main gods and goddesses. In Tibet, pilgrims circumambulate Mount Kailash to bring prosperity. In Peru, pilgrims climb the ice-capped Mount Osagante to receive the starlight and bring fire to the earth. The holy mountain invites you to go on a sacred pilgrimage to acquire vision and perspective. First, you must accept the present situation as an opportunity to discover higher understanding. Find a sacred altar where others who came before you have prayed and found wisdom, and make your offerings there. Make a commitment to walk with courage, love, and compassion until you see with clarity the perfection of all. And the medicine. When the holy mountain shows up, it is time to be active. Do not let your doubts deter you or keep you bound. This is a time to leap over challenges and remember that from the top of the mountain, there are obstacles, only beauty and unobstructed view of the entire earth. And there's no need to go shopping for the right hiking boots or camping equipment to climb the holy mountain. You already have you already have all the gear you need. Overcome any lethargy, indolence, or laziness, as they are real obstacles. So this month is really about doing what you need to do. And it's kind of cool because in a way, I think staying close to home and doing what you need to do is the best thing to do this month for you, for everybody. Some people have to, but some people have the choice. And I would say limit things that you don't have to go out for, but live your life. You know, you have to go to work, you know, do that stuff. But, you know, it's like, oh, maybe I should, I'll go. Try to stay closer to home if you can, I think that's going to be important. Completion, number 9. Of course, 9 is the number of wisdom, right? The wisdom of the one. Oops. And of course, 9 is the last number in numerology. 9 eats itself. That's what they say. It's the number of humanity, because we eat ourselves too, in a way. All things have a beginning, middle, and end. This is the nature of life. The seed, the flower, and the fruit, and all of human relationships. Completion suggests the fullness of the moment and the need to transform an old form into a new one. You have finished a cycle, and there's no more growth or benefit from hanging onto the old. In regard to your relationship, it is time to honor what has been and find a new form for the future. In your ventures, it is time to reap your harvest. Completion is a time for celebrations. It is the end of summer when the fruit is ripe. The medicine. Clinging to the old form will bring only decay. When fruit is left too long on the vine, it rots. You know that it is time to move on, yet you are reluctant. Do not be afraid of hurting anyone's feelings. Remember that you are responsible for your actions, not the actions of others. Mourn what is lost so you can move on. Do not be sad. Be like the sun at midday, who shines brightly, neither longing for sunrise or dreading the dusk. Be in the moment that you're in. So this is about letting go and healing and perspective. And a new cycle begins. This is the ending, in a way, of that cycle. All right, well, that's November. That isn't exactly what I thought it was gonna. I mean, it was a great reading. I loved it, and I very enjoyed my time with you. But I thought I was gonna do something else. Maybe next time. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Like and subscribe. Thank you for all your comments. I do read them. I want you to know I don't not read your comments. I don't always comment. Sometimes I'll put a little heart. But I really appreciate those. And I'm going to be doing a beginner's class, 6-week class starting Mondays, and it's starting the 8th. I think that's a Monday, November 8th. And I have intermediate classes that I'm doing. If you've been in my beginner's class, or if you're an intermediate student and you want to study, we're going to be concentrating on transits, I think, this time, and that's a 6-week course as well. And that will be on consecutive Thursdays or Saturdays. I do Thursday evening or Saturday late afternoon. I'm sorry, late morning, early afternoon, Eastern time. And so I'm going to be starting my classes all like at the same time. I don't know why I do this to myself, but I do. So if you're interested in that, there's a link below. And if you're interested in taking class, there is on my services page, there is a thing that says beginner's class. Whether it's the beginner's class that you're taking or you want to take an intermediate class, you can pay that way. But I'm going to one of the things I have to do is I have to talk to my computer guy and get him to list it differently, because it's not, I don't really like it, but I keep forgetting to ask him. So oh, let's see what's under the deck. The 5 of Wands, the 3 of Cups, and the 8 of Cups. I think no matter how hard you've worked on something, if it's not emotionally fulfilling, you're going to leave it behind. That's what I think. I think that's part of what's going on too. You know, these readings, the themes I think are accurate. How they express in your life and in the life of the collective is just sort of depends on so many factors. But know that this is the end and a new beginning. A new beginning. But like anybody who's either had a baby or seen a baby getting born, it's hard work. It's painful. It's, it's scary. But on the other side is that beautiful baby. And that beautiful baby is us. And just like when a baby, in the best situations is born into family, the whole family loves it. So we may be new babies in this new realm, but there are plenty of souls and entities and teachers and spiritual guides and ascended masters and angels, whatever you want to call them. They're to help us, just like we help people who need help here. So there's plenty of help. There's plenty of help. I'm not gonna, sugarcoat it. It's not gonna be easy, but we can do it, and we can do it. It's not gonna be easy, and we can do it all the same. Maybe not the same, maybe all new, maybe be in the moment, maybe be in your heart, maybe have your divine nature pour the energy into your heart chakra, and then as you love, it just goes out like a wave, making the world a better place. We can love ourselves into harmony. That's what the 9 of Cups at the top of the deck there, at the top of the reading was. The potential of really bringing like heaven to earth. And how do you do that? You do that through love. Heaven is just your heart chakra. Like, oh, when you're in love, you're in heaven. I'm in heaven. I'm in love. We can do that. We can be in love all the time. It's just not going to be romantic, like crazy, like, oh, infatuation. Infatuation is way different than love. Infatuation is a desire that you're like, oh, make sure, it's like anxiety. But love is love. Love is deep. Love is deep and warm. And sometimes it's hard and it's cold. But it's still love. It's still what holds us together. We can only go so far out before we get pulled back in, right? So it's like the whip. It has to come back, right? So we're in that place. We're in that place. We're breaking through, people. We're breaking through. And this month, 16/7 is part of that. That's the number, 16/7. It is Donald Trump's soul. It is Tucker Carlson's expression. But it's also the soul of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And is it the expression of Bernie? I'm trying to remember his numbers in my head. Could be. It's interesting, and then I'm going to leave you guys because I've kept you way too long. I've been feeling a real tightness in my chest, and I've really been attracted to green. As you can see, I'm wearing green tonight. And I bought a moss agate bracelet when I was in, oh, it's right here. When I was in Oregon. I love moss agate. I love this stone. I've always loved it. And it's like that. It's green. It's like mossy green. It's just beautiful. And then I also picked up this, which is it's kind of hard to see. Smoky quartz, which is a grounding stone. Hematite's is a grounding stone too. Pyrite's a grounding stone. Garnet is a grounding stone. But there's a density around hematite for sure, and garnet definitely has a density. It's the density of color in garnet, I think, and not the actual, because hematite is actually iron, so that's pretty heavy. But the smoky quartz to me is clearer and it's a little lighter of a grounding stone. And for some reason, I needed it because I went to Soul Food Books and I bought it. So I was very generous with myself there. I mean, I don't spend too much money anywhere because I can't really, but I was quite generous with myself there. That's where I got these cards. So, felt like I went to Mecca. Anyway, all right, guys. So have yourself a great month. Or have yourself an authentic month. Maybe that's what I'm going to start to say. Be you. That's what my husband says. Be you, Vicki. Be you. And so I say to you, be you. Which is also Boston University, which is, I believe, where Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez went. So there you go. Smart girl. Smart. All right. Love you guys. Bye.